So everybody has this question around the Web3 and the crypto space, that is it legal, right? Which is kind of detrimental to the overall space and detrimental to people who want to invest or kind of build products or even want to build a career in this space, right? And there is always this question like, what is going to be the future of this industry? So what can you tell us about the Web3 space, because you have personally worked in this space? And what is the future of this industry, and what is it from a legal standpoint, that is currently the Indian government's legal standpoint on crypto and Web3?
So I'll go step by step. First of all, legalities really depend from territory to territory. Like in China, they've put a blanket ban on cryptocurrency. If we talk about India specifically, India's stance in general to anything is always precautionary. Be it surrogacy, be it technology, be it anything new, any new thought that you have, legislatively, your legislation is going to put a ban on it. Sabse pehle they're going to be like, stop it. Then they will think about it. Then maybe later on they will try and bring about some kind of a regulation. Then that will prove to be insufficient. Then they will bring out another regulation. So in that extent, I mean, it's going to be, realistically, it's going to be a long time before we have a proper legislation or a piece of regulation that, properly regulates this space. Initially, the RBI put a blanket ban on crypto. The courts reversed it. The Supreme Court reversed that order. And now our own government, our own RBI, our own finance minister says, तुम्हें करना है तो कर लो, पर हमें नहीं पता इसका क्या होगा. Like, we are not gonna, that is literally what they say. Like, we are cautioning you. We are not saying it's legal, but we are not saying it's illegal either. So you want to, you do it. But we don't know anything as of now. That is a very unfortunate stance, I would say, because at the end of the day, be it today, be it tomorrow, be it next month, or be it 10 years down the line, this is the future. It's coming, whether we like it or whether we don't like it, whether it is misused or it's used properly and for the good. That is a secondary question. It's coming for sure. And I believe that instead of having a reluctance or a resistance to it, the sooner we accept that it's coming and start working towards it, the better it's going to be. In terms of, as I said, initially India was very reluctant banning crypto completely. Now they are accepting it, even though they don't have any legislature, they don't have any regulations to regulate it. They're accepting it because there are many governments who are entering into MOUs with companies, trying to bring their systems on the blockchain, especially police systems, for better, information circulation from within. Of course, it eases the system. It makes them feel that, we're doing something for the future. But the thing is, right now, at the stage where the world is, we are at the brink of a huge, we're at the brink of this cliff, and ahead of us, there's this huge path of innovation. Right now, everybody is building. This space hasn't boomed, it's booming, it's beginning. And there is a lot of, by sheer intellect, by sheer number, there's a lot of talent in India. This is something I really emphasize. In India, there is a lot of talent, especially in a Web3 space. We've got people who are brilliant at what they do. We've got people who work twice as hard as, categorically, I would say people in the West do, because we have that sense of, hard work and that level of dedication towards our work from within that I mean, it is not something good, but in terms of as a worker, yes, I would say that, we work a lot harder than other people do. We are cheap labor. And I would say that we are missing out on something huge. When you talk about brain drain, when you read about the concept right now, the way it's happening, it's immense. You say, or, you read about Polygon and every news entity is going to call it, oh, Indian startup Polygon, Indian startup this, Indian startup that. It's not an Indian startup. The founders are not citizens of India anymore. They're not paying taxes in India. They don't have any entity in India. How are you calling it an Indian startup? It is such a huge company. It had such huge potential. We drove them out. We are driving out Web3 people today. Any company, any business, any Web3 sphere. You look at WazirX founders, they want to go shift to UAE. Anybody in India, they, reach a certain level where they can actually help the country in terms of, raising employment, helping the economy. The regulations hit them so hard that they have no other option but to leave. So we have a huge potential that we're driving away because of our unfriendly nature. And that, I feel, is something that, somebody needs to shake the government and be like, see, this is what's happening. I mean, if your revenue, how else do you want your country? You say Make in India. On the one hand, you're promoting Make in India. On the other hand, you are driving away people who want to make in India. That is, not the way you do business. And I completely understand that this is me from somebody in the Web3 sphere. I'm criticizing that, India is driving away people. India is not being friendly to people. In fact, not just Web3. I feel like Web3 brings with itself not just a technological advance, but a change in the way we live life and look at life. The whole idea of decentralization, global, having a global connect, having information out there, the idea of privacy, the principles of Web3 are something that is going to impact life in general. Web3 companies don't function in a normal office right now. Most of them have global teams. Most of them have decentralized teams. So if you're working all over the globe, can you imagine? I mean, I don't understand why right now India is not the hub for Web3 companies to hire. You get cheap labor, you get, amazing workers. I don't know why everybody is not hiring in India. India has an employment crisis. On the one hand, we're crying that our people don't have jobs. Make employment regulations that are friendly, that make remote hires easier. And what all do you need? Your people are going to get employed. Your people are going to get employed at good wages. Your people are going to get benefits. Those companies would be happy to hire them because if I am a lawyer in India and if somebody has to hire a lawyer in the US, that guy is going to charge 10 times as much as I do. You're going to hire 10 Subhas in that sense. Of course, as a company, it makes more sense for you to hire here as well. But we are just so reluctant, just so, afraid of what we don't know. And then we refuse to know and understand that. I feel it's causing a huge harm. I feel like it's doing a lot of damage. But this is me from a Web3 standpoint, from a regulatory standpoint. I understand that as somebody who needs to draft a law or who needs to draft a regulation or who needs to, putting myself in the government's position, I need to draft a piece of paper that is going to govern the behavior of millions of people, that is going to impact millions of people. I cannot be careless about it. I cannot be thoughtless about it. I need it to be formulated in such a way that it covers all the bases. It does good for my people, protects their rights, as well as facilitates that particular activity. And if you really think about it from the point of a legislator or from the perspective of a regulator, it is an incredibly difficult task. It's like right now, can you even list all the potential problems that can rise from Web3 usage on a piece of paper? But a law is supposed to have that. A regulation is supposed to have that. You can't keep re-releasing regulations. Okay, today I'll take out this notice. It's not working. Let's, recall it. We'll pull out another one. That is not how it works. So from a legislative's point of view, since this industry is still beginning to develop, it is still in that development stage, it is difficult for a legislator or a government or a regulator to foresee what kind of problems can arise, what kind of regulations do you even need. Like, okay, for example, crypto. You have a law, if I pay you money and, you don't give me the services, I can take you to court. I can show them this bank account. Okay, I paid Prashant Roy in this bank account. Your information is there. Your PAN is there. If the police calls up the bank, they're going to know all your information. Now, when you're dealing with transactions on the blockchain, You have a lot of anonymous. Blockchain provides you anonymity. Blockchain provides you privacy. When you're dealing with anonymous people on the blockchain, how do you regulate it? How do you hold people accountable? Where is the accountability? You have DAOs. You have the whole principle of a DAO, of not having one person in charge, of not having a centralized governance system, but a decentralized governance system. Now, tomorrow, if a DAO does something illegal, how are you going to hold the DAO responsible? Are you going to track down every person to ever have participated in the DAO? You're going to track down every IP address and go after them? I mean, thinking of it from a legislative point of view, it is not an easy task.